Hi everyone, Ryan here from Fight Game Analysis, and today we're going to be talking about the upcoming fight between Vasiliy Lomachenko and Richard Commey. But before we jump into that, if you've been enjoying the content, please go ahead and click on the like button and also subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate your support. Alright, so we've got a big fight coming up here on Saturday between Vasiliy Lomachenko and Richard Commey. Man, Richard Commey, here's a guy, good fighter, but kind of caught the short end of the stick a little bit. Going into his fight with Teofimo Lopez, there were people who were picking him to win. People who were looking at that almost as like a 50-50 type of fight. There was a lot of talk about him, a lot of hype about him. What if he wins? What's going to be next? Who's going to come out with it? Both big punchers, both explosive. And then he comes out there and just gets absolutely smoked by Teofimo Lopez, man. Gets caught with a big left hook, big right hand. He's down, out of there, falls down a couple times, falls around the ring. And that's kind of it. That's kind of it. At that point, when we're talking about the lightweight division, we're talking about Lopez, Lomachenko, Gervonta Davis, Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Kambosos now. These are all the names that we've been mentioning. Nobody's really talked about Richard Commey ever since he got hit by that devastating right hand by Teofimo Lopez. And I get it. That's the way the fight game is, man. You're the man one day, you're a bum the next, right? The crowd's fickle. The media's fickle. It's kind of the way it works. You know what you're signing up for as a fighter for the most part, right? Then he goes out there and fights Marinez, gets the win. Unheralded fight. I get it. Not a big deal. Nobody really mentioned it for the most part. Now he gets another chance at the big stage. And he gets it against Lomachenko. And it's like, man, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. First he gets Teofimo Lopez. Then he gets Vasiliy Lomachenko as far as like his real big step-up fights, his big ones on the biggest stage. When you come up with victories in these fights, it's when you got the most chance to make a name. And those are just two bad styles for him, man. Two bad style matchups. I mean, look, I'm going to come out there and just say it. Richard Commey is a gatekeeper. At the 135-pound division, 2020, 2021, 2022, this time period, he's just a gatekeeper. Okay, with the talent that we've got at 135 pounds, I don't think that he can ever go out there and be the man. I don't think that will ever be able to look back and be like, remember when Richard Commey avenged that loss against Lopez? Remember when he was able to go out there and beat Lomachenko? Remember when he went out there and shocked us all the way he dominated Gervonta Davis or Devin Haney and got the win or something? I don't think we're going to be talking about that. I think most of these guys get the win over him. I think some of them look very impressive when they do it. That's just the way it is. I think he's a little bit limited. Does he got a great right hand? Yeah. Can he fight behind the jab and move around and labbing and stuff? Sure. But he fights in straight lines. Doesn't fight great going backwards. Doesn't have enough of a varied offense. Does he have a great left hook? No. Does he go to the body great? No. Can he fight great on the inside? No. He squares up sometimes on the inside. We saw that in his last fight with Marinez. He likes to get all rough and tumble, use his forearms a little bit, push around. Yeah, you can bully guys who allow themselves to be bullied. But when you want to get to the very best, the creme de la creme, particularly in a division that's as competitive at 135 pounds, you're not going to be able to bully the top guys. Wasn't able to bully Teofimo Lopez, another guy who's big and strong for the division. He's not going to be able to bully Lomachenko, even though Lomachenko is small for the division. Dude, he's got the footwork that he's just not going to be there to allow you to push him around. You know, he's got that big right hand that I talk about, but when he throws it, he gets out of position a lot of times. Leans over his foot, reaches with it. That is a death sentence against a man with the footwork of Vasiliy Lomachenko. Look, I don't think it's going to be that difficult for Lomachenko to get the win in this one. I think he's going to look pretty dominant throughout it. Okay, now we look back and we see the people that are able to land these left hooks against Richard Commey. Right before Teofimo Lopez landed that big right hand, he landed left hooks. He was also landing a few left hooks in the first round. You look at this fight with Marinez, he was able to land some left hooks. Okay, Lomachenko's a southpaw. He's not going to throw left hooks, but he is going to throw that left hand. It's going to be a little bit of a similar enough angle when he's throwing it. Not quite the way the left hook comes in, but he's going to be able to throw that left hand in a similar fashion. Commey drops that right hand, man. The way he likes to come in, sometimes he'll drop it a little bit to load up, to throw it. Sometimes he just won't bring it back up the way he needs to. It's why he's susceptible. It's why that part of him is open there. Okay? Lomachenko's going to be able to take his right foot. He's going to be able to get it to the outside of Commey's left foot. He's going to step forward and out. He's going to be able to get perfect foot positioning to just fire that left hand off all day long. That's going to be how he opens into getting his angles. Lomachenko was a master of angles. He's a master of being able to turn his opponents. He's on the outside. He's moving around. He's giving you different looks. He's bouncing back and forth, left to right, using the lateral movement in and out a little bit with the feints, constantly keeping you guessing, constantly confusing. And then he's able to just explode. And once he explodes, it's not straight in. It's not straight out, although he does that when he wants to. But he's able to get in there and then start to turn you. He takes that big, deep cut, that big, deep angle where he gets his foot off, lands that left hand, goes in with a right to the body, spins you a little bit, comes back the other way. Richard Commey fights in straight lines. He's not going to be able to get out there and just work beautiful angles off of his pivot. He's not going to be able to go out there and all of a sudden back out of trouble and then land a right hand. I don't think he's quite explosive enough to keep Lomachenko guessing. That's the thing that Lopez was able to do. I think that was the fight of his life, man. When Teofimo Lopez was able to go out there and beat Vasiliy Lomachenko, literally, that was the fight of his life. Now, maybe he's going to rise back to that time again. And I don't think it'll be at 135 pounds. I think he's going to outgrow the division. But maybe he's going to move up in weight. He's still so young. Maybe he's going to be able to go out there and show us that wasn't the fight of his life. That was actually a glimpse of what he has in him. And he's able to bring it out for the future. We'll see. Nevertheless, at this point in time, particularly with the way we saw him fight against Kambosos, that fight against Lomachenko was the fight of his life, man. What a great performance. Right? What a great performance. Particularly after we saw what Loma was able to do to Nakatani. But he was so fast that night. He was just so on point. And that was what he needed to do to be able to keep Lomachenko honest. That right hand of his was just a hair trigger, man, and he had to use it constantly to keep Lomachenko from being able to build momentum, from being able to turn him. Lopez was using perfect pivots, perfect angling movements to be able to nullify what Lomachenko was trying to do. And Lomachenko was still able to see a lot of success in there. It's how talented he is, man. It's how good he is. I mean, you look at this amateur career, you look at what the things he's been able to do in the pros. I've talked before about his second fight once he turned pro against Orlando Salido and what he learned from that one. Salido just being the consummate bully, being the consummate tough guy and going in there and just roughing you up and elbows and headbutts and hit you on the side of the hip. The ref's over here on the right side. He's beating up your hip over here with the left side, trying to slow you down. Just all the little tricks of the trade that you'll see veterans go in there and do. That's what Salido was in there doing at Lomachenko in only his second fight. Ended up losing the fight. Like, everybody knows, looking back at it, that Lomachenko was a far superior fighter in the big picture. Far more successful career, far more accolades, beating far better opponents. But at that time, that night, man, Salido went in there and beat him up and won that fight. But Lomachenko grew from it. Never complained to the ref once. Never came out afterwards and talked about how the dude was a dirty fighter doing this and that. Just grew from it. Just got better. Just learned. And we continued to see that attitude throughout his career. He continues to go out there and shine and be impressive. And I think that's what we're going to see again on Saturday night. I think he's going to take a guy like Richard Commey, who's got a limited offense, big right hand, and he's going to show that you need more than that to be the best at 135 pounds. He's going to show that you need more than that if you want to challenge him in the ring. I think we see classic Lomachenko. Goes out there for the first round or two, moves around on the outside, downloads the information, pauses with the jab, sees what Comey's going to bring, gets the speed, gets the timing, and then just starts to go to work. Goes to the body, starts to spin him, taking those deep angles, landing those left hands, getting the right hooks in there. By the 6th, 7th round, man, Comey's confused. Not really landing that much, probably shuts down his offense a little bit, and it's just a Lomachenko show. After that, who knows, man? The lightweight division is on fire. If you'd asked me this a few weeks ago, I'd have said that I'd love to see the Lomachenko-Lopez rematch. But at this point, I'm guessing Lopez has got to go up to 140. I want to see Lomachenko. Who knows? Maybe we get to see Lomachenko-Kambosos, right? I don't know. Kambosos and Devin Haney definitely seem like they got it going on. I highly, highly, highly doubt Gervonta Davis is going to be jumping in there against Lomachenko. I don't know. Who knows, man? Ryan Garcia isn't going to jump in there against him. That would be something else, let me tell you. But anyways, let me know, what do you guys think? Who's going to come out with the victory on this one? And what's next for both men? Let me know what you guys think.